in the village of Chaitanya and the town of Mamou. So visit our website at evangelineparishtourism.org to find out all the details of what will be happening and why you definitely don't want to miss it.
Welcome to Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television. I'm Nancy Kay. Joining us right now is Elizabeth West, who is the marketing manager of Evangeline Parish Tourism, I should say. Thank you so much for being here, Elizabeth.
Thank you for having me. It's always great.
Yeah, last time you were here, you were giving us the history of Pine Prairie. I'm really glad to talk about this. So what exactly do you do as the marketing manager?
Well, we've spent a lot of our time marketing. Pretty much. That's taken up most of my time, is just really focusing on promoting all that Evangeline Parish has to offer, from our parks and the outdoor adventure you can experience here, to the events, to the Cajun culture, to the cuisine. There's a lot to market, and so we've a lot of time doing that.
Very good. Now, how does tourism get funded, and how are those funds dispersed throughout the parish?
Well, we do collect an occupancy tax from local establishments where people can stay overnight. So that's our one consistent and constant, like we know it's going to be there as long as we have that in place. That's our revenue that's for sure coming. Now, the amount of money we're going to take in could vary from year to year, but we know we will have funds through that tax collection. But we also have grants. That's a huge part of us being able to operate. We're a small parish, so our one consistent collection or one consistent revenue that we can guarantee is going to be coming in is not, it's not huge, but it's enough to help us get by from year to year. So as a small organization, we did a lot on the grants that we apply for.
Very good. And so when it comes to the tourism board, how do they decide which projects get the most attention first?
Well, there were already mechanisms that were in place when I got there in 2020. So we've definitely tried to continue those trends. And, my board is comprised of 7 members. So there is a representative for each municipality, and then we have as we would call them, a member at large. So they try, of each member that's representing a specific municipality, focus on their municipality. What do you guys need for tourism? And whatever they identify as being their greatest need, we will then try to put some funds towards that. Get with our mayors, work with them to determine what will help them thrive when it comes to the tourism industry that their specific municipality may have.
You get with the police jury too.
Yes. The police jury appoints our members, but they definitely try to let us do our own thing, which is nice. You kind of feel like your bosses are trusting you. So it makes us, I think, just be able to propel forward even more, knowing we have their support and they trust what we're going to do, and we try to just make good things happen.
Good. And what are you guys working on now?
Well, now that some events are coming back.
Yeah, because COVID hit everyone really hard. So
yeah, and that was a crazy year. That's the year I actually started, was that summer, and so come for this parish during that time was a challenge, but I think we got through it just fine. But yeah, what we're working on right now is trying to promote the events that are coming back. COVID is obviously still here, so we definitely want people to be safe. We just ask it, if you're scared, don't go.
Right.
But if you aren't, then go and try to be as safe as possible, because we do have some wonderful events that people can attend.
So what events are coming up?
We have the Swamp Pop reunion.
Right.
Which
I know all about that one.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, I know you know all about that, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you are excited for that, just like we are. And you know, we haven't heard exactly what's going to all be planned for Mardi Gras at this moment in time.
Right,
We are
because they're
hearing
still considering, you know, pandemics.
everything.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Now, when it comes to Mardi Gras, there was an announcement made that there would be the children's Mardi Gras run in Mamou
Right.
that would take place on the Sunday, which would be Sunday before Mardi Gras, so February 27th. So that is potentially something for everyone to look forward
Yeah.
to, as well as the regular Mardi Gras festivities.
Of course.
So we're hoping we'll hear something soon as far as like what's the lineup, who can we look forward to hearing if it's going to be happening, you know, so that's definitely something.
And we just had Mike Ardouin as a guest, and he's on the board with the Smoked Meat Festival, and he said that's coming back.
Yes, that is really exciting because
Yes.
that, you know, smoked meat we lost it for a year and then it came back and they were trying to rebuild and then boom, the pandemic happened.
Right.
So it's exciting to come back because that's such a huge part of the culture here.
Yes.
And what we've done from the tourism side of things is we've started piggybacked off of some other municipalities in the state and tried to create our own little boudin trail, and we're working on some promotional videos for that. So that is something also that we are that's happening in the tourism world, and what we're trying to do behind the scenes to promote something that, like I said, is a big part of the culture. The food, the smoked meats, the boudin, you know, people love that stuff. So
That's
it kind
good.
of all goes in with the whole smoked meat festival.
Nice. And do you guys do any
We did at Crooked Creek. We had gotten some grant funding, and you know, the cabins out there are they're quite old, but they are just, to me, they're a little hidden gem of the parish.
it's nostalgic?
Yes, it is. It really is, and I always felt like there's some potential there to make them a really neat place to go and stay for a weekend, even for people that are from here. If you don't, not everybody has an RV. But you might still want a little getaway from home.
Oh, yeah.
And you have Chico State Park, but you know those cabins, they're going to stay booked up.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
they're beautiful, they're great, and we're so happy that Chico was able to give Crooked Creek the cabins that are currently out there. So we've definitely done some work in the cabins to try to elevate them a little bit, and but even in addition to those two parks, we have Lake.
I was going to ask, like, what other parks do we have in the parish for those who may not know?
We have Lakeview Park and Beach, so they also have some really cute cottages that you can
they
try to
do.
rent.
Yeah.
That if you don't have an RV, PJF Farm and Lodge, they have a really big lodge that if you had, you know,
Yes.
a large group of people that you needed a place for them to stay. But they've also recently added a little blue cabin, and it's really neat too. It's cute. You can go on their website and look at it. I'm like, oh, it's adorable.
Yeah,
love
I'd
it.
interviewed P&J Farms about a month or so ago, and I have not been there yet, but I want to go.
Yeah, well,
it
it's
sounds really
a
cool.
beautiful place, and we have had a photographer that has gone and gotten pictures for us, photos of all of these locations, so that we can use that to help promote, because that's really the bulk of what we do. We might not necessarily be the people who own the park, or it's not us that you're going to come to make the reservations, but we're the outlet that can help get you to where you need to go to find the place you want to stay, to get in contact with the right people, to know more about the event. And so that's what we focus on, and I think that we're just trying to continue doing that through having local photographers video,
Yes.
take photos, and
Yeah, and we do have little hidden gems around the parish that people don't think about. I have a friend who lives in Broussard, and one day he came to meet me. I said, let's go have lunch in the little Heritage Garden, which is across from Sonic, and it's on Main and LaSalle, but across from Sonic. And it was springtime, so things were blooming, everything was clean, the grass was cut, it was beautiful. And he actually called it, this is a hidden gem of Ville, Platte. And yeah.
I think it is too. We did do a little bit of work at the park to try to help clean it up and get it back to status where people want to go. Because
Right.
it is, and it's so neat. It's perfect for, like, if you just want to go sit out there and eat your lunch one day, or you know, I know you love to visit it.
I love
you've
to.
helped us
I
with
walk my
photos.
dogs there a lot because I live in that area, and I really love to go there. It's just, there's a litter problem, of course, but that's everywhere. We have a big litter problem in the parish, unfortunately. But I know the park has the Heritage Garden has taken some hits with storms, and the arbor came crashing down because a tree fell on it, big tree limb. But I noticed that you guys have improved it, and you've cut the trees up to allow better airflow.
Yes, that's exactly what we've done, and that's exactly why we did it. Because, it can get kind of hot and sticky and muggy feeling during the summer.
And the mosquitoes and everything. That's why people say, I don't know how you like winter. There are no mosquitoes. So I'm not outside sweating with mosquitoes. So now we talked about how the pandemic was a huge challenge and continues to be a challenge. But other than that, what kind of challenges do you face in tourism?
Well, hearing people say, there's nothing to do here.
We hear that all the time.
Sometimes that just is almost like a punch to the gut. Because I'm like, there is. And we need to get the public, especially the people that are from here, behind that idea.
Right.
Of being able to start saying, well, there is something to do.
Right.
I know it's not Blue Bayou. It's not.
Right.
But there's still some great things to do here.
Yeah.
There's outdoor adventure that you can experience in multiple parts of this parish. It's not limited to one area.
Right. Well, we're going to get into that in just a minute, but I have to take a quick break. But I want to educate people for those who say there's nothing to do. So we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll be right back on Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth West with the Evangeline Parish Tourism Commission, and I'm here to tell you that you need to prepare for Mardi Gras in Evangeline Parish this year, because it's happening in the village of Chaitanya and the town of Mamou. So visit our website at evangelineparishtourism.org to find out all the details of what will be happening and why you definitely don't want to miss it.
Be strong and courageous. That's the message Jesus has for you if you're injured or ill. Keep your eyes on Christ and let us at Fontenot Physical Therapy and Fontenot Physical Therapy West help you run the race. Fear is useless. Just trust in Jesus. Have hope in your future. Have a happy new year and God bless you.
Welcome back to Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television. We're joined with Elizabeth West, and who has been talking to us about Evangeline Parish Tourism. She is the marketing manager. And before the break, we were talking about what kinds of activities are there to do in Evangeline Parish. For the people who claim there's nothing to do, what can we do here?
Well, we're definitely a place where outdoor activities are a huge part of what we have here and what we offer.
Right.
And so if you're an avid outdoorsman, then this is the place you want to be to experience great fishing and hunting, and I'd say most people have done that live here, but maybe they don't know of all the places you can do it. There's Johnson's Landing, Clark's Landing, all that's in
Dr. Chuck Aswell's
exactly his hunting lodge. So we definitely want to continue to promote what you can do at Chico State Park, but maybe sometimes people want a little bit of a different scenery or just a different place, but you don't want to go too far.
And he has exotic animals over there, like buffalo and rams and things like that.
Wow, you're teaching me something.
I actually interviewed him before a while back for one of my other jobs, And I learned a lot, and I was taken on a tour of that property. I was very impressed. It's just beautiful over there with the lake. And
Well, I'm going to have to do that.
yeah, and I need to go to P&J Farms because we've interviewed them before. It sounds like a beautiful place.
Yeah, and they're great for like bird watching.
That's what they were talking about.
And
yeah.
photography. I know they
Yes.
really try to promote that, and I think that's just another activity or thing that someone could enjoy here. So
Right.
there is more to do than some people would say, and
Right.
it's not everybody's scene, but it definitely should be tried at least once, and that is Fred's Lounge.
Yes,
It's
and
fun.
I tell people that all the time because we get a lot of people from other countries or other cities around the state at the Swamp Hop Museum. And of course, I work there. That's my little moonlighting job. And I always tell them, hey, there's something to do. Go to Fred's Lounge in Mamu. I said it's a total dive bar, but everyone loves it. I mean, it's so popular, and it's on a Saturday morning. Like, how often do you go to someplace on a Saturday morning?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So-
It's Swamp Hop Museum.
Yeah.
And if you're here during the week, then you should probably check out Floyd's. If you like that
Yes.
music, then you need to go to Floyd's Record Shop. So there are things to do here. Sometimes we just have to change our mentality and realize what we do have is valuable, because if it were gone tomorrow, I think there's a lot of people here that would realize just what they had,
Exactly. And also, we also have other events that are planned, like little pocket events throughout the parish that people don't know about, and they could probably go to, I guess, like maybe the chamber website to find out what's coming up, and maybe if tourism.
Our website would
yeah.
definitely, we try to keep it up to date with posting events on our website,
Right.
As well as our social media pages. So there are different things that are going on,
like
in
farmers
the parish.
markets or block parties and things like that people don't think about. Little events here and there, and but
Absolutely. Well, and the regular, I don't want to call them regular because they're great, but the fairs and festivals that we're used to, you
Yes.
have those all throughout the year. So those are also events that we should cherish because they are a lot of fun, and
Right.
I think the public should definitely try to enjoy them.
Right. I mean, there's the Cotton Festival with the Turnwa. There is now the Smoked Meat Festival's back. You have the Swine Festival, Boggy Bayou Festival, out of
That's
Pine. What other festivals do we have? I know we have the Mamu, the Mardi Gras.
And the Mamu Cajun Music Festival.
Yes, as well.
Le Grand Hurrah.
Yes, thank you. The
Yeah.
Grand Hurrah out of Chico. Now, did they have that one? I don't think they had it last year.
They didn't. See, they had
did.
tried to move it to a later date, but then numbers started to rise at the end, and so they made the decision to cancel it, as well as the Cajun Music Festival. We did not have
Right.
that last year either.
Do you know if they're going to have it this year? Either
The
one?
plans are, well, let me not speak on Le Grand
Right.
Hurrah, but I do believe that the plans are to try to move forward with the Mamu Cajun Music Festival.
Okay.
But nothing is set in stone.
Of course
Because
not.
last year when we thought it was, that all changed.
I know.
And that's been another challenge, trying to stay on top of the constant changing that
Right.
occurs with the situation that's going on in the world.
Right.
But I think that overall our organization is managing as best as it can, and we just want to continue to do that.
And going back to tourism as far as the state goes, like Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser launched a big campaign for Louisiana tourism. So how does Evangeline Parish and other rural parishes fit into that tourism narrative? When most people think Louisiana, they think of New Orleans. So how do
Yeah.
rural parishes fit into Louisiana tourism?
Well, the Lieutenant Governor has done a great job at really promoting staycations. And his idea is statewide, but we've taken that idea and tried to utilize it on a much smaller scale.
Like you were saying earlier about people just taking a weekend, go to
Right.
Crooked Creek or go to or
Exactly.
whatever, go to Lakeview.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, so that's how we've utilized what he's doing in our own parish. But in addition to that, we received a $20,000 grant. We were approved for $20,000 from the Louisiana Office of Tourism, which is through his office.
Right.
So, or is his office. So that has been a major help in terms of marketing, because that's what it's all for. That 20 grand is for marketing. And that's what, has helped us, as I was saying earlier, as such a small organization with limited funding.
Right.
without that 20 grand, we would have not nearly the amount of marketing we've been able to put out there from July 1st to the end of last year. And the grant is through these next 6 months as well. So just prepare to see us even more out there, just trying to make people aware that we exist and our organization is here to help you have fun.
Very good. And kind of picking up on that, how do you market a rural parish to people from out of state or from other cities? Because like we said, like New Orleans, like is the biggest, in the state, there's a lot of stuff to do, fun, but other places get, marketing, get a lot of attention as well. You have Shreveport, you have the larger cities, of course. So how do you compete as a rural parish to attract more people from elsewhere?
When you need a break from the hustle and bustle, visit us. Because we are going to help you relax, rejuvenate, and get prepared for the next busy part of your life or month, whatever it may be, So come here to do that, breathe in some fresh air.
Yes.
And just enjoy nature at its finest right here in Evangeline Parish.
Market ecotourism as well, or green tourism.
Absolutely.
Because there is a large section of the population who likes that sort of activity, like going bike riding or just relaxing on a lake, being in a natural setting as opposed to the city with all the pollutions and the noise and the traffic and everything. So that's a really good move right there for marketing.
Well, and that's what we have. So we have to capitalize on that. There's something for everybody in every place. It's what your mood is at that moment. What are you wanting to do that day? And what do you need? And if it's a little rest and relaxation, then come on and see us. If you want something a little more upbeat, and like I said, the hustle and bustle and fast pace, then maybe those other places are for you. But come and take a break in our parish. And
enjoy our festivals too, if you want something like really fun to do. Like take a break, but enjoy the festivals too, and all the other little sites and things that we have. And before we go, I asked you what are your challenges of your job, and it's mostly people saying there's nothing to do, but you addressed that. What do you love most about your job?
Knowing that I get to share what is so great about my home with people not only from here, but people from all over. I enjoy that because I have so much pride in this place. And so it feels good when I know I get to teach somebody or tell somebody a little bit about why it's a great place to be and why they can have fun here and why they should come here. So that's definitely enjoyable for me.
Yeah, I can tell you love your home parish because we had interviewed you before, but it was about Pine Prairie and a little bit of the history of Pine, and you were lighting up talking about your hometown. And I said before you should write a little history book about Pine Prairie, so I'm going to hold you to that.
Yes, yes.
So we're going to close out now, but before we do, where can people find Evangeline Tourism? What's the website?
Evangeline Parish Tourism.org. I know it's long, but that is the website. So again, EvangelineParishTourism.org. Visit it. That's going to tell you all the information you need. It's going to tell you how to get in contact with us, if you'd rather call, how to email us, anything like that. So go there.
Are y'all on social media?
We are, and the Facebook page is Evangeline Parish Tourism, and we also have an Instagram.
Very good. And is it the same on Instagram, Evangeline Parish Tourism? Very good. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for being here, and we hope that you're going to come back and update us with what tourism is doing. So,
I would be happy to. Just let me know when.
Sure thing. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth West, Marketing Manager of Evangeline Parish Tourism. We're going to take a break and be back after this on Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television.
At 1319 South Chautauqua Road is Paul's Specialty Meat Market and Grocery, where fresh meat and good service equal a great experience. Specializing in smoked meats, specialty meats such as stuffed roast, holiday turduckens, boudin, cracklin, fryers stuffed with crawdad, and large freezer specials, providing fresh smoked meats to the community for 27 years. That's Paul's Specialty Meats and Grocery, 1319 South Chautauqua Road, Ville, Platte, Louisiana, where fresh meat and good service equal a great experience.
Welcome back to Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television. I'm Nancy Kay. Joining us now is Darlene Soileau of H&R Blovk. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. And what is your role at H&R Blovk at our local office?
I am the franchise owner.
Right. And so you operate the local office, you're the franchise owner. So why did you choose H&R Blovk as the franchise?
Well, it's more like H&R Blovk chose me.
Oh, okay.
You see, I was born into it.
Oh.
My daddy had the franchise before me.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yes. So I've known the business pretty much all my life.
Okay. So you've have you always had? I guess you followed basically in your father's footsteps and.
Well, I never thought that that wasn't my plan to be doing this for the rest of my days, especially whenever I was in high school.
Right.
But after my daddy, we had moved away. My husband and I had moved away. And my daddy wanted to retire, but I could say he wanted to sell the business, but he wanted to keep working. And he was afraid if he sold it to somebody else, they wouldn't let him stay in the office. So he asked me if I wanted to come home and run the business. And it really wasn't in my plan, but my husband says, oh, yeah, you want to do that, And I'm like, okay, so we're going to move back, because where we were living at, we lived in Plaquemine.
That's what I was going to ask, was where you were living at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We lived in Plaquemine, and it's along the river, and they have all the chemical plants and everything. My husband was working in a plant. And so I said, well, we can do this. I can go back, because I would always come home to help during tax season. Okay. I'd come spend a week or two or work weekends or whatever. And so we came back home, and it's history.
That's history.
It. Yeah, I just started taking over the business, and I've been there ever since.
And how long did your dad keep working after that?
My dad worked, actually, it's just been 7 years that he stopped working.
Okay.
Once he was about to turn 75, he said, that's it. Of course, there was a lot of tax law changes that was happening. We had the health care, they called the ACA, where you mandated that you had to have health insurance and all these rules. So he said, my hard drive is full, I cannot learn anymore. And at the time, H&R Blovk was also changing our software that we were using. So he would have to learn a new software.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and he was, almost 74 years old. So he says, that's it, I'm done. And he walked
He knew
out.
it was time. Yep.
Yeah.
But that was a good time, though, because now, how do you guys keep up with all these changes in tax code? Because it just seems like every year it's just a mess, it seems like, to us.
This year has been from last year, whenever, in March, when they did tax law changes about the unemployment, that was chaotic. Now, normally, when you have a normal season, which I don't think we've had in quite some time, in the off season, we take courses all summer long. October, November, we get more into it. We make sure we get all the tax updates in so that we are prepared for when tax season starts up again.
And it's, I'm sure that education, I don't know how you guys do it, because I do not have a brain for that kind of thing. To do it for me. But is it better for some clients to, I wouldn't say better, but do you advise some people with simple tax returns that they can do it themselves online? I think H&R Blovk has tools where they can do it online.
Yes.
But for those who have more complicated, you think it's best for them to go with a professional tax preparer?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
because there are some times whenever they miss something.
Yeah.
Because I had a client yesterday, and she said she did it herself last year, and we were talking about what she did, and I'm like, I bet you skipped something.
Yeah. What do people normally miss whenever they're itemizing?
Well, not too many people can itemize because of the tax law changes in the past few years. I mean, one of the big things that helps people to be able to itemize is mortgage interest and property taxes.
Okay.
And some houses, you have to have a really big house to have a high mortgage interest. And in Ville, Platte, not too many people
Right.
have those kinds of house notes.
Right.
And the property taxes here are very low. In other states, property taxes are a lot more.
Yes.
Like in Texas. My brother and sister live in Texas, and their property taxes are very high.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And Texas certainly has a lot of big homes as well. In some
Yeah.
areas.
So not
Yeah.
too many people itemize,
Yeah.
you know.
And but do you find the people who do them online, it's fairly easy to use the H&R Block design to do it
Well,
online?
They say it's easy.
Well, I mean, I know
have-
you wouldn't need to do it, but
I personally have never even
Right.
got into the
Yeah.
the system to see how it is. But and I have clients, you know, especially their high school student has a little part-time job, and they fix their paperwork so that they cut them a little bit of federal and state taxes. So I'll tell the parents, you can do it online.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a
just
very
that-
simple return. Yeah.
Yes, it's easy. Just be sure you check the box that you are claiming the child, that he cannot claim himself, and he'll
Right.
still get his, you know, their money back.
Yeah.
So that's I tell my clients that.
Yeah. So what do you think is the most challenging aspect of your job?
Most challenging. Keeping up with the tax law changes.
Of course.
Making sure I have enough of employees for the season, because it's seasonal work. I have been lucky, and I have some girls that come back year after year. I have one that's been with me 20 years. Another one's been with me over 10 years, I think.
Okay.
And another one I think it's going on 5 years.
We have during tax season employees.
Well, I used to have a lot more, but now we are let's see, 5.
Okay.
There's 5 preparers, and then I have 2 receptionists.
Now, how crazy is tax season?
Well, and I knew it whenever y'all called me to come. I was like, Thursday. Oh,
I know. I
it's
was
starting.
thinking, like, I'm amazed that she's coming during tax season.
Well, and I knew this week is when it would start, and it always starts on Thursday.
Really? Why Thursday?
Well, because people get their papers, they might get Thursday, and they get paid on Thursday.
Oh, I got you.
You know, or Friday. So, and as soon as they get that, they're making phone calls. They are
Right.
making their appointments.
Right.
They are ready to come.
So that's so the most challenging aspect would be keeping up with the tax laws, and then just kind of how crazy it gets during tax season. It's a little stressful, and yeah.
Yes.
So what's your favorite part about your job?
Well, my favorite part of my job years ago was when, you know, my kids were in school, and in the summertime, well, after April 15th, I'm off. You know, so that was great. My friends and stuff. Golly, and we would only work 2 days a week. So, you know, that was great. It's a perfect job. In the off season, especially when you have children at home, you can spend the summer with them, you know, take vacation,
is
go
nice.
wherever. Because
That is
we're
nice.
a lot of H&R Block offices. There are some that are open 3-4 days a week. There's not many,
No.
because the franchise offices open more than the company offices.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought.
I'm franchise. Now, Palousas, which are very close by, they used to be owned by franchise, but then they sold out. So they are company. So in the summertime, they're open 1 day a week, or you have to call and make an appointment.
Okay.
You can't just, and you know, people are just like, I'm just going to go, you know, and pull on the door, and they need it now. Because when they get a letter in the mail, they're like, okay, I'm going to go see about this.
Yeah.
And so they just hope and pray that when they go to that office and pull on that door, that they're open. And they don't want to make an appointment. They want it that day.
Yeah. People get nervous, especially if they get like a letter
Yes.
about an audit or something. Like, I know I would
Yes.
want to check that out right away.
They then they call, which when they call those offices, whether it's Eunice, Opelousas, or even other H&R company offices in the area, they goes to an 800 number, and it goes to a call center. And the call center will say, well, the office that's open today is in Ville, Platte, and they're open from 9 to 5. So, and here's their number, or they'll put it in our appointments in our computer, and for us to call them
Good.
and set them an appointment for them to come in.
So you're
I've
getting-
had them come. I've had them come all the way from New Iberia.
Wow.
Yes.
So there's no other like local franchisee in
Well,
the area?
On that particular day. Office in New Iberia used to be open, I wanted to say like 4 or 5 days a week. I don't know what their office hours are, but yeah.
Wow, so that's actually good for your business.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, now we're open 3 days a week in the off season.
yeah, that's good for you guys. That corporates, you know, in
Yeah.
our vicinity, that well, you're getting all that flow over business.
Yeah, it does. It does. But sometimes it can cause a problem
Yeah.
because they might need a copy of their W-2 or something, and I don't have that in my office.
Right. Yeah, I could see
So,
that.
you know, all I can get is a copy of their tax return. I can't get a copy of their W-2.
Right. In that case, you would probably have to tell them like, "Hey, go get me a copy," you know, so we can have it on file. And
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but
Or
they,
they
but
have
like
to-
you said, sometimes they don't want to make an appointment and find out what they need. They just show up. So yeah, so
Especially when they have a letter. When they get
Yes.
letters, they want help
understand
them
that.
with
I
their
would freak out
letters.
too and say, "Oh no, I need to get this taken care of now."
Yeah.
As far as being a franchisee, what are I know the benefits of being a franchisee. You kind of went over that a little bit. Like if you have a corporate office, you guys, you know, a little bit more business. But what are some of the pitfalls maybe of being a franchisee? Or can you think of any at all? Or you're pretty happy with it the way it is?
Well, as being a franchisee, well, another benefit is that, you know, sure, I could just have an office, a tax office, you know, and call it Darlene's Taxes or whatever. But having the H&R Block name.
It's a big name recognition.
Yeah, the advertising, you know, so that's a big plus
Yes.
because that's a
Yeah.
big expense.
It is a huge expense, and it's a very recognizable name. You know,
Yeah.
H&R Block. People know automatically that's tax
Yeah.
stuff. And
The only downfall would, and whenever you have a franchise, you have to pay royalties. And so nobody likes to give their money. You know, so you got to pay royalties. So that's about the only downfall that I could think of.
But I think it works out with
it
like
works out. It
you don't have to pay
balances
advertising
because yeah, because you're getting that name.
Right.
You know.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. Whenever we come back, I want to get maybe some of the highlights of your career so far, and just general questions, just more
Yes.
personal questions.
That'll be
okay. And we'll take a break. We'll be right back after this on UGN's Louisiana Television. You're watching Evangeline Mornings.
Before John DeVille and his staff can unlock the doors, there's a gathering outside of the Cajun Catfish Steakhouse and Buffet, 1452 Highway 167 North, Ville, Platte, Louisiana. His staff would like to invite you in for a dining experience of fruits and salads made fresh every day to a spacious environment to stretch your legs out and loosen your belt loop. Enjoy Central Louisiana's best in seafood and steak. The Cajun Catfish Steakhouse and Buffet, 1452 Highway 167 North, Ville, Platte, Louisiana.
Hi, my name is Ian Fontenot, and I'm with Cajun Broadband, and I get internet way out here. Oh, I got a tweet. So what's good about Cajun Broadband, you got a local company, you got local customer support, you got small businesses, couldn't even have a peace of mind knowing that their security cameras work in the evening, you know, because the service just wasn't up to par. And we come in and we're an option, and we're a local option.
Welcome back to Evangeline Mornings on UGN's Louisiana Television. Nancy Kay, and we've been talking with Darlene Soileau, franchisee owner of H&R Blovk and the local Ville Platte office.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and we've been learning all about the income tax season and what it is to be a franchisee owner. And before we went to break, I wanted to know some of the highlights of your long career, because how long have you been doing it?
I have been doing this for over 40 years.
So you must have some stories, some highlights. And
Yes. I mean, I could go all the way back from whenever I started, because my daddy started teaching me whenever I was in high school. Okay, just imagine you're in an office, sitting at a desk. Of course, my mom was always sitting on the side of me, because my mom did it too. And you have a young guy coming in. He might be 25 years old. He's single, just a little easy tax return, and he's sitting in front of a 17-year-old, and she's going to do your taxes. Can you imagine the look on their faces?
yeah.
My mom would say, "It's okay. I'm going to double check it."
I say actually that wouldn't bother me. I mean, as long as your mom's there, and it's like, okay, everybody has to learn sometime, as long as she's going to double check
And
it.
back then we did it by hand.
Oh, that
Yes,
that's
yes. It was pen and paper and a
terrible.
calculator. Yes. So we did it by hand. So yes, everything I did was double checked.
So it's actually a lot easier today.
Oh yeah.
Despite, I mean, of course, you have more tax laws to deal with and
Yes.
the changes, but at least the process is a
Yeah,
little
the process
easier.
is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Your hands aren't cramping.
What other kinds of stories you have over your long career?
Well, we have years ago, which we don't do that anymore. We had refund advance.
Okay.
I mean, no, rapid refund.
Okay.
We have refund advance right now. Rapid refund and get your check instantly, or in 2 to 3 days, your check, we would print them at the office. Okay, so do the tax return, and my daddy and I would get to the office real early in the morning, and we would print out all those checks. People were lined up at the door before we'd even open to come and get their checks. Well, sometimes their checks weren't there. Because they owed something,
Yeah.
which could have been child support, student loan, federal taxes, state taxes. They don't tell us, but their check didn't come. So some of those guys sometimes could get very rude and ugly.
I'm sure.
And a couple of times I actually had to call the cops to come to the office.
I believe it.
Yes.
I
So
believe it.
those are very.
Expect you to do. It's not like you're stealing
Well,
their check.
I don't know. People think that we have a safe full of money or something. I don't know. But, you had to tell them, hey, I didn't take your money. And they always said, I paid you for this. Well, actually, if you don't get your money, we don't get paid.
Right.
Because they always have their fees withheld. And so if their refund doesn't come, then we don't get paid.
Yeah, we don't have your
So
money.
then I
that's-
have to tell them, well, so now you owe me, X number of
Go
dollars.
you have to complain to the government or the state, whichever one's not giving you your money. That's who you don't fuss at
Yes.
us. And my dad
Yes.
used to work at the post office, and he get fussed at all the time for different things. Oh, I didn't get this, or the price of the stamp is going up. He
Yeah.
said, "What do you want me to do? Do you complain to the cashier when the price of milk goes up? What-
Exactly.
So anything else that that happened? Maybe something really positive that happened in your career.
Well, we have a lot of positive. I mean, sometimes you'll have people who are having hard times and they don't think they're going to get much of a refund back. And then you're able to tell them, well, because you have this, this, and this, you're so happy.
I believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is just so heartwarming. It just makes you really glad you do what you do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could definitely see that. And
Yeah.
I know you have some loyal employees as well. You said one has been there for 20 years and another for
Yes.
10. Do you have any other employees that have been there a long time that keep coming back every season?
Well, those are the ones.
Those are the main ones, yeah.
Patricia's there year round. She's there all year long. Julie comes back every year.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
good. And before we have some virtual products that you wanted to mention as well, right? The H&R virtual products.
Yes, we do. You can go online to hrblock.com. You can make an account, and you can upload your documents there and send them to us, to a particular preparer, or just to our office. And some people don't want to come in the office because of COVID.
Right.
And we can prepare the return, we send it back to you, and then you approve it and pay for it online.
And that also helps
And
for
you
the
never
people
have to
who
come
are
into the
out of
office.
town and, they don't have to drive all the way over here.
Yes, I do have a few that I do that live out of state that I do their returns. They send them to me that way.
See?
Yes.
That's very helpful. So what other kinds of they have?
Well, they have the refund advance where you can get up to $3,500 of your refund the same day that you file.
Nice.
Yes,
Very
it gets loaded onto a prepaid. We call it an Emerald card. It's just a prepaid MasterCard
Right.
that you
can
use
use
just
anywhere.
like
Just like
a
any
debit
card.
card.
Yeah.
Just like a debit card.
Very good.
Yeah. So, and see, well, you can have the fees withheld. So you don't have to pay today.
Right.
And you can have it direct deposited. You can get a check. It's however you want it.
That's good. I don't know. I guess some people still have to wait for checks, for one reason or another, but I love when that direct deposit hits. But I like that advance refund even better. That's an even better idea to me.
A lot of people like it, very much so.
So, and before we're about to close out, but how do people make an appointment with you or a member of your team?
Well, they can call our office at 363-1415, or they can make their appointment online. Just go to hrblock.com. They pick the office. You put in your zip code. You pick the appointment online at our office.
And where's your office located in Ville?
Our office is on 247 East Main Street in Ville, Platte.
Very good. Darlene, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And thank you for educating us about tax season and about being a franchisee as well. It's very interesting information.
Well,
and
thank you for having me.
I really like that cash advance thing, that
Refund advance.
Oh, you give me some good ideas about going to H&R Block.
A lot of people, the only downfall to it is you can't pick what amount that you want.
Okay.
It comes $250, $500, $750, $1,250, and $3,500.
But that's still good, though. I mean, that's still good for a lot of people.
So, and it goes, the bank decides what you're going to get.
Okay.
But they'll send you a text, say you are approved for X number of dollars, and it goes onto a card.
Very good. Darlene, thank you. And I hope you can join us again after tax season, maybe. Because I know you're going to be busy. But I hope you guys aren't too stressed out. But
not yet, but it's coming.
All right. Thank you, Darlene. And you have been watching Evangeline Mornings. This is UGN's Louisiana Television.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth West with the Evangeline Parish Tourism Commission, and I'm here to tell you that you need to prepare for Mardi Gras in Evangeline Parish this year, because it's happening in the village of Chaitanya and the town of Mamou. So visit our website at evangelineparishtourism.org to find out all the details of what will be happening and why you definitely don't want to miss it.